see us? Okay. Hi. All right, when you're ready, you got it.
Good morning. How are we all doing this morning? Good. All right, stand with us. We are the Big Love Band, and we're going to bring some love this morning. My religion is kindness. My church is nature. My God is a feeling. Lives deep inside. My job is to be conscious. My path is forgiveness. My religion is kindness, and I practice it every day. Everyone has a story. Everyone has pain. When we strip away our mask of mind, we're really all the same. These little things we say and do that can mean so much. It's a smile, a connection, a simple loving touch. My religion is kindness. My church is nature. My God is a feeling. It lives deep inside. My job is to be conscious. My path is forgiveness. My religion is kindness, and I practice it every day.
Every day.
Today I'm gonna ask myself, what more can I do to be a radiant child of God and let my love shine through? I'm gonna let my heart be my guide to give the best of me. I'm gonna share my joy, share my love, give it boundlessly. My religion is kindness. My church is nature. My God is a feeling. It lives deep inside. My job is to be conscious. My path is forgiveness. My religion is kindness, and I practice it every day.
Every day.
Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. But then Jack fell down and broke his crown. But Jill kept running after. She said, Jack, tell me, what can I do to help me ease your mind? He said, hold my hand and just be kind. I know I'll be fine.
My religion is kindness.
My church is nature. My God is a feeling. It lives deep inside. My job is to be conscious. My path is forgiveness. My religion is kindness, and I practice it every day.
Every day.
My religion is kindness, and I practice it every day.
Every day.
Good morning, everyone. We are so happy that you are here. It's so wonderful to look out and see all of these beautiful, shining faces. My name is Melissa Tuff, and I am one of the practitioners here at the Center for Spiritual Living, as well as the treasurer of your Leadership Council. And I am here to welcome you. Wherever you are on your spiritual path, you are welcome here. We believe that we are co-creators with the divine and that you can change your entire life just by changing your mind. Ernest Holmes is the founder of our philosophy, and we teach universal truths found in all spiritual teachings, both traditional and contemporary. Please visit our website at cslcapecoral.org for more information on upcoming events, to submit a prayer request, or to send us your comments and questions. And now we are going to have another selection from the Big Love Band.
Please welcome our guest vocalist, Fani, who's going to join us on this song.
Yay.
Please sing with us.
This little
Light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let let it shine, let it shine.
No more living in fear.
We're gonna let it shine.
No more living in fear.
We're gonna let it shine.
No more living in fear.
We're gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
One more time. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, 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 let it shine. All right.
All right. Oh, get back up, everybody. Come on now. You know the drill, right? All right. So now we are going to bestow this blessing on each and every one of you. And turn around and make sure you bestow this blessing on one another. I'm going to invite you to join me in repeating the words on the screen here. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. We know who you truly are. You are the spiritual image and likeness of God. We appreciate you, we love you, and we are thankful you are here. Welcome to the center. And now, please welcome the amazing, illustrious songbird, Fawny Frost, who is going to give us a special song today.
All right. It's good to be back here again. When things go wrong, it's natural to wonder which lesser rule did I break? When things go right, it's logical to ponder what credit can I take? But the truth is so much easier. I don't need a master plan. I can live here in the moment, 'cause my life is in good hands. I don't need to know where the wind blows, 'cause God knows. I don't need to know what the future holds, 'cause God knows. I need never know how pain ends, how my heart bends. I can just let go, 'cause God knows. Still I find I'm crying out for answers, 'cause I'm still craving control. Still I find I'm afraid of taking chances. I could damage my soul. But at this moment, I remember it comes so clear to me. The minute I surrender, safe as I could be. 'cause God knows I don't need to know what the future holds, 'cause God knows I need never know how pain ends, how my heart bends. I can just let go, 'cause God knows. I need never know how pain ends, how my heart bends. I can just let go. I can just let go. I can just let go. 'Cause God knows, God knows, God knows.
Thank you.
That was fabulous. Can we have another round of applause for Fawny? Thank you for your gift. All right, I'm here to do the reading and the prayer. And a few weeks back, most of my fellow practitioners had witnessing me having a breakdown. We all go through it. And as practitioners, we seem to think we're above it, but we can be right in the fray. And as we've seen and heard, there are no coincidences. There's no, I don't know what the other word is. But anyways, one of the practitioners that I share this center with, Valerie Data, shared with me this little book before the monthly theme came out, To Surrender. And it's The Power of Surrender by Tom Johnson. So I'm going to read the first paragraph, or the first couple paragraphs. The power of surrender. When you recognize that there is one power and one presence that already is, capital I-S, you can surrender, you can let go of yesterday, tomorrow, of persons, places, and things that as being cause to your existence. There has to be a belief that this power and presence can be trusted and that its action is taking place through you. With every treatment, you must acknowledge that this presence, so much of treatment that goes on after the acknowledgement of the presence sometimes is a total denial of the presence because many people are trying to make something happen. They're busy trying to get something, trying to fulfill their personal desires, and all of this gets in the way of the presence, taking over and living through you. If you believe in God, then God is where you are. It is the reality of yourself and believing in God, and there is not God and. There is simply God as. There is not God and a problem. That would be totally ridiculous. One contradicts the other. There is one power, and this is what we must affirm. This power, this presence, does not change. This power does not try to make anything happen. It is. It just is. So let's take this into prayer. Knowing there is this one power that I just spoke about, and it's that power that we all have our unity with. And if we just step out of our way and let that power perform through us, as us, in us, everything will be perfect, whole, and complete. And it's with gratitude for knowing this truth of this power and this truth of myself. I can release these words into the law of mind by saying, amen, and so it is. And it's now my pleasure to bring to the stage one of the graduating class of, 2020? Is that the lost? Yes, it is. It's the lost year. Ron Frost. Welcome to the stage.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you very much. So I get to look at my bald head the whole time? Better. Whew. Even I would get confused with that glare. It's so wonderful to be here. It's amazing to see the practitioner class. It's so amazing how that is lined up, that those of us that recently went through the last practitioner class here at the center that was guided, mentored, and taught by Reverend Shell. And here we are, for Fonnie and me to come here this morning, get up early and be here. It's such a blessing. It's a blessing to see the team is here, right? We can do amazing things with a team. So the topic today is surrender is action. Well, what is surrender? And why do we say it is action? Because quite commonly we're told, don't surrender, never give up. Put up that fight. And yet we know in spiritual teaching it is that surrendering to knowing that the divine has our back. And therefore, in that very notion of it being a decision, that is activity, that is motion. And knowing that when we hand it over to the divine, that is action. That even though we may not necessarily have all the answers, that which creates everything, the all that is, that can move heaven and earth, that can shift anything in our lives, no matter what we're going through. True? So when we realize that the truth is we're always in this conscious moment of asking, but much like the phrase, ask and it shall be given, it's that second part of the sentence. And it shall be given. And that is the surrender. Maybe the original Bible version, before it was edited, said ask and ask and ask and ask and blast it on social media, complain about it with your friends, try to figure it out, connect the dots. Because sometimes that's what our worried mind does. That's our fear-based mind. We sit there trying to figure out and wrestle everything. And we get in that mode of it's not happening. Or we're in a doubt stage. The doubt is quite commonly from the feeling of unworthiness. I don't deserve this. Whatever the thing is that we're seeking, whether it's a relationship, whether it's health, whether it's prosperity, the new job, the thing that I'm trying to get out of, we're always trying to get out of something out of the job, out of the relationship, out of whatever my problem is. The more modern one is, how do I get out of the matrix? And the answer really is there is no way out. The only way is in. It's an inside job. So everything that we practice here, everything that we teach is we know that the divine is all there is and that we are one with that essence. And therefore, in the surrendering and the proclaiming of what we wish, whether that's said or not said, the truth is the fact that we are divine presence and the infinite is always connected to us. The moment we surrender, the greater good unfolds for us beyond our wildest imaginations. Because when we're in that infinite state, you know, that infinite presence that's with us, we're in a finite state of trying to connect the dots and figuring out the who, why, what, where, and how. It's got to be done by this person. It's going to be done in this way. And I have to have it tomorrow at 2 o'clock. The divine knows always the better way, the better way. So in the art of surrendering, and surrendering is action because as we surrender, that's when true miracles start to begin and start to happen. True? How many people have something in their life where they just kind of stepped aside, they just kind of let it go, and when everything that they thought was just suddenly nothing was working out, they let it go and everything worked out better than expected. And we know that the teaching that we have here allows us to shift that mindset and get out of the worry, the disbelief, and go into that state of belief and letting go. So I want to share with you some of the quotes of some spiritual masters and authors on the subject of surrender. How many people know the name Marianne Williamson? Amazing author, amazing author. The moment of surrender is not when life is over, it's when it begins. Isn't there richness in that statement? Truth in that statement? Mark Nepo, the author of 7,000 Ways to Listen, and many other wonderful books. One of the books that Reverend Shell introduced our practitioners class to. One of Patrick's favorites. Surrender is like a fish finding the current and going with it. It's an inside joke, and he gets it. How many people ever watched the spiritual guru named Mooji on YouTube? He's got a huge following. It's beautiful. If you're ever in that state where you just need to kind of sit back and listen to some wisdom, tune into Mooji. Mooji. Not now. You can put your cell phones down. Surrender is not a weakness. It's a strength. It takes tremendous strength to surrender life to the supreme, to the cosmic unfolding. One of my favorite authors, actually both of our, Fonnie and myself, is Wayne Dyer. And he says, by surrendering, you create an energy field of receptivity for the solution to appear. Eckhart Tolle says, sometimes surrender means giving up trying to understand and becoming comfortable with not knowing. True? And Rumi, this is a short one from Rumi, try something different. Surrender. And in the famous words of John Dillinger, America's most notorious bank robber, if I surrender, I'll probably get life in prison. But it's when we're in the prison of our own minds, and we're in that thought process that is conjured up by life itself, by the things that we have going on. And just like Patrick shared, sometimes we do have to be vulnerable. We all go through stuff. We can't just sugarcoat it and put a smile on and walk around and just say life is great. Even though I'm a big believer in positivity, we need to share. Sometimes we need to lean on another practitioner. And that's one of the things that we're taught when we're in classes is to know that there's times when the problem seems bigger than you. When you can't get out of your own way. That perhaps there's somebody else that can hold that consciousness for you. They don't need to see the answer. They don't need to give you the solution. But if they can hold that consciousness for you, and knowing that there is a way, that the divine that's created heaven and earth, that can move mountains, can simply solve any problem there is. Now, with that said, of course, I've had my moments, and Fanny and I can relate to just recently buying a house. And I don't know how many people have been in the house market selling. I know you have selling or buying. It's a crazy market out there. And when we moved from Cape Coral to Sarasota several years ago, we decided to rent. But as the rent cycles would come up and the lease was up, Fanny and I would say, well, should we look for buying a house? I don't know. It's too close to the end of the lease cycle. I don't know if we can find anything in time. We really don't know Sarasota that well. And let's go sign that lease again. So we went through 3 lease cycles, but we were wanting to buy. I mean, we've owned houses in the past, and truth be told, our most favorite house was the house that we left when we came to Florida, which was an amazing house in Columbia, Maryland. It was a fixer-upper, and we put our own sweat and labor into that. We pulled up carpets and put down hardwood floors, and we tiled, and we did faux finishing in the bedrooms. And we got the house absolutely perfect. And guess what we did? We sold it, yes. So it was the perfect place to live, but it was a 2-story home. It had a big yard. Fanny loves gardening, so for her it was just beautiful to have this yard. It had large oak trees. And I don't know if you've ever been to Columbia, Maryland, but just Columbia, Maryland, it's just like all these trees and vegetation. And as we moved to Florida, we didn't see that. And the biggest thing was our house in Florida was just 1 story. You know, we didn't have the basement. We didn't have the second story. Beautiful home. Beautiful summer, weather all year long, right? But we adjusted to the home. And the funniest thing was when our kids, because we already signed, bought the house, got the keys and everything, and when our kids came down for the very first time, Nicole and Ashley, I'm sure some of you have met our daughters. They're big now, but when they were probably around 4 and 6 or 4 and 7, they come running in the house, saying, "This is a beautiful Florida home. This is a beautiful Florida home. This is my bedroom. This is your bedroom." And they're trying to claim their spaces. And suddenly they slow down. They're like, "Where's the stairs to the second floor?" And, you think about it. We walked into this kind of, flatter roof, but we were like, no, there's no second story. And my oldest is like, "Come on, Dad, you're lying to me." And finally she buys it, and she goes, "All right, how do you get to the basement?" There's no basement either. It's a Florida home. So in our journey in Sarasota, and we're saying, we're going to buy. And we did everything that we teach here. We had a vision board. We kind of stated what we want. We knew everything that was particular. And yet, at the end of every prayer, we say something called "this or something better." Why? Because that's the surrender. That's the part where you don't know. You can claim everything you want, but your higher self or your divine nature, the thing that we call God, right, knows better than you can even imagine. And so as we were going out into this crazy housing market, we had a friend that we met with, which is a real estate agent, and as real estate agents do, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, what square footage, what's your price range, all those particulars. And she took us around different parts of Sarasota. We even started reaching out to Venice because we were looking for a price range that would fall within what we wanted. We wanted these large trees, we wanted a fenced-in yard for our dogs, and we wanted plenty of green, and we had not mentioned anything about a two-story home because we didn't think it was possible. House after house after house. We'd walk in, Fonnie would love it, or I would love it, and we got to the point where we were first we started the strategy of make the offer a little bit below the asking price. And then we'd wake up the next morning and she'd say, I'm sorry, bad news, you didn't get it, somebody else got it. I think we were going 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. I think we went like close to 40,000 over each time. Sight unseen, people out of state, cash offers. And here we are in our minds saying, this is never going to work out. Time is running. Our lease is running out. We're going to have to sign another lease again and kind of give up on this whole process. Or we risk it up into that very last moment, right? And in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, well, maybe we can put things in storage if, we have that gap, or there's the tent that was in the garage. Or the newspaper headline, motivational speaker is living in a van down by the river with his beautiful wife, Fonnie. But as time went on, we got to a point where every single moment, weekends, anytime I was not working, we were just seeing houses, in a continuous cycle of nothing working out. Surrender happens when something inside of you emotionally kind of lets go, or you take your mind off of it. And sometimes it can be the littlest things. What I had not realized, which I probably should have thought of earlier, was reaching out to the landlord. And I reached out to the landlord, and I told the landlord, we're in this process, we're a little bit stuck. I probably should have told you sooner. We don't want to release, but is there a possibility going month to month? We had imagined it was but double the price. $40 more per month. $40 more per month. With an agreement, can you at least let us know your step-by-step progress, how things are going, so we can make arrangements, because we can easily fill the house that you're in, but for now, don't worry. $40. And what that did was that surrender of my own essence of saying, like, this is going to work out. This is like the world, the divine. It's working out for me. The situation of the fear of not having a place to live. But for $40 a month, we can go month to month. So we went to visit some houses later that afternoon, and Fonnie and I both said, if we don't see anything that we like, absolutely love, we've got month to month, right? So when we went, the real estate agent lined up some houses, and I think there's like 4 or 5 houses that day. And when it came down to it, we kind of broke it to her. We said, because she showed us all the houses, none of them we liked. And in the driveway of the last home, we basically said, we're doing the month-to-month thing, Thank you for everything you've done. You're going to be our real estate agent when we eventually find a house, but we're going to take a little bit of time. And as we left there, we felt good about it. We actually decided we were going to go get on the highway and drive to our favorite restaurant, get a nice meal, a couple glasses of wine, just relax. And then this app that Fonnie had on her phone, I think it's called Zillow. It was Zillow, okay. She had loaded it, and all of a sudden, bing, a house lights up on this app, one that we had never seen, down a road we had never been down. And it was suddenly there on her phone, and she shows it to me, and she said, it's right here, take this exit. And I'm like, okay. And as we drove down that road, we came and drove into a driveway of a 2-story house, fenced-in yard for our dogs, a lot of yard for gardening, and these beautiful oak trees. And we both said, this is it. This or something better. So when we surrender and truly get out of our way, out of the thinking that nothing is happening, whatever that nothing is happening can be. Whether it's the job or the situation or the thing that I truly want to have gone or have present. Or even if it's, where's that next minister, right? Surrendering and knowing that the divine has got this, that God has got our backs, and everything is always working out in our favor, and the greater good that is yet to be is already unfolding for us right here, right now, whether we see physical evidence of it or not. True? And so for us, we practice this, and I would say the thing to do when you're stuck in that mindset of like, how do I surrender? How do I really, really, really surrender? I would say there's several things. One is getting your mind off of it. Whatever that is, get your mind off of it. Shift to something else. Spend time in some sort of creative activity. Go outside in nature. Allow and just say, I know God's got my back. I know it's done. I am surrendering this or anything in my life to the greater good, and I know it's unfolding right here and right now. And so as we shift and we move into some other activity that is not the thing that we're focused on, right? As we're focusing on the very, very thing, we're holding tension to it. How many people have ever seen the experiment with the needle that's floating on top of the water? Right? You could put a needle right on a cup of water, a still glass of water. And why does that happen? Why does that needle just float? Because it's called surface tension. Surface tension. To the needle, its greatest joy in its future of becoming is to be able to be engulfed by the water. But it is held in place by tension. And that's what we have in our life. When we have tension going on in our life, the tension of things not working, right, is the needle in the glass. You shake up the glass, right? Just going about life and doing something different, going into flow, this is a shirt that's actually made in Indonesia, Fani's country, and it's called batik, which is an art form. And when I was in Indonesia, and if you've ever been there, especially in the city of Jakarta, you've got traffic jams, honking horns, craziness just going on all the time. And here was this lady using art. I don't know if you've ever seen batik, but it's a series of putting wax on the fabric and then dyeing it and then taking that wax off and then waxing another spot and dyeing it again and letting the blending of the colors come together. It's an art form. And she was like in a state of trance. She was in flow. No worry in the world. And sometimes that's where we need to be. Whether it's art, music, whatever that thing is, to shift ourselves from the very things that we feel confused and emotional about not happening or being wrong, to go into some sort of activity where our mind is just feeling good and detaching from it. And that's surrendering. Gratitude. To count your blessings. Now we can sit there and say, well, wait a second, that one thing isn't happening or isn't right or whatever. But to shift and to see all the great good things that we do have. We know last month was the month of gratitude, but gratitude is really that true practice that we should be practicing all the time, all year long. It opens our hearts up. It puts us in that state of receptivity. So as we surrender, and which is one of the steps of our prayer process, which is to be in gratitude for knowing that it is already done. It is already done. Gratitude for these words that are spoken, and I surrender. It is already done. And the third thing is, if you can't go the journey alone, reach out. And that's why the practitioners, that's what they they train for. You know, there's 4 years, 2 years of Science of Mind classes, 2 more years of practitioner studies. For me, it took 8 years. I'm a little slow. I had travel, Shell had patience. So it all worked out. But that's what they're here to help you. If you're a practitioner, raise your hand. So look around the room. These are people that have made that decision to dedicate their life to being able to help other people, to hold them in the consciousness of seeing their good unfolding. So if you can't find a way, find a practitioner and allow them to sit in prayer, to meditate, and to help you surrender to knowing that the divine is always going to unfold for your greater good. I know Fonnie and I, when years ago, when we were trying to sell our business, it was like on the market for, I don't know, months. It was like over a year. We went to a broker, a business broker, and we advertised it everywhere. We told everybody. We dropped the price several times. It didn't sell. And I was in my mind saying, it's not going to sell. And then one day I was here with Reverend Emil in that office, and I told him my situation, and he said, can we take this into prayer? 2 days later, 2 offers. It's amazing. Getting out of the way, surrendering, and let the divine unfold. That's all we need to do, and sometimes it's the most difficult thing to do in our life. Let's take this moment, this very precious moment of surrendering, and I invite you to surrender into prayer. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, relax, center yourself. As I know that this divine moment that we're in right here, that there is a one power, a one presence, an infinite beyond all things, that manifests out of itself all forms, all miracles, all solutions, holds within it the divine essence of unconditional love and compassion. And that truth, that thing that we call spirit, God, or the everlasting beauty of the universe, I know that it is within me and as me and operates through me. Because if it's in all things, it has to be within me. And I know that exact same truth for all those that are here now listening in this divine moment, whether physically in form or online. That infinite spirit, that divine goodness is one. And through that I know that as we allow the greater good to unfold in our lives, as we allow spirit to move and we surrender into that, we surrender into the knowing that only good is unfolding. That even in our feelings of darkest days or deepest emotional traumas or things that are going on, that we know that God has got our back. That there is a way. And as we surrender into it, we know that it is already done. So in gratitude, I release this prayer knowing that all is blessed. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Ron. That was wonderful. Beautiful message of surrender. And everyone just show your love again and some gratitude for Ron. Appreciate it. And thank you, Fonnie, too, for your wonderful voice. Appreciate having you here today. So I'm so grateful to be here on behalf of the tithing. And my name is Karen Gidley. I am a licensed practitioner here, and I also am secretary on the Leadership Council. So, speaking on behalf of the LC and the Pratt Corps, I want to thank you of the great generous gifts of your time and talent and your treasures. And our doors would not be able to stay open without your donations and tithing. So I want to also read this letter we received from Hearts and Homes of Veterans. They are who we are donating this quarter. And this says, thank you for your donation. As an organization, we would be remiss if we did not express our sincere appreciation and gratitude to our supporters. The most difficult challenge for any nonprofit is raising funds to support their mission. It is organizations such as yours that bless us with the capability to ensure the low-income and homeless veterans population in Southwest Florida, and know that they are cared for and not forgotten. Your donation will be able to immediately help veterans and their families by providing them with food, household items, emergency financial assistance, and personal hygiene items. Your support is extremely important to our mission of supporting veterans and their families who find themselves without necessities of everyday life. This is signed by David Santini, Vice President of the Hearts and Homes for Veterans. So with that, I would like to ask you that you donate today your tithing. You can do so to tithe, text to tithe, which would be at the phone number 239-320-3820. You can also send your contribution through PayPal at paypal@cslcapecoral.org, or you can go to the website and donate at the donate button on cslcapecoral.org. There's also, we have the, you can mail your check to the Center for Spiritual Living at Cape Coral at 406 Southeast 24th Avenue, Cape Coral, Florida 33990. And we also have on Amazon.com. If you visit and purchase anything on Amazon, please visit smile.amazon.com and select Centers for Spiritual Living Cape Coral as the charity of your choice. So if you're joining us here in person, we have at the back of the sanctuary here blue buckets, pails, whatever, to put your donations into and your tithes into. So because we are actively participating in the law of circulation, please know that your generosity expands far beyond these four walls. Your gifts allow us to support local charities in service to our community, and with this such quarter recipient who is this quarter Hearts and Homes for Veterans. So I invite you to hold your tithe in your hand, between your hands, and if you have it available, and if not, just place your hands over your heart. And join me as we speak our tithing affirmation. Today, I know the activity of divine abundance is at work in my life and the life of this center. I give and receive generously as I live in the flow of bountiful good. And now I speak a word of blessing over the tithe. With appreciation and love, I accept these offerings and gifts. Divine love through me blesses each gift and each giver. I know all that is given circulates to do great works both within this spiritual community and the world at large. Standing in gratitude, I release these words, so please join me in saying, and so it is. Namaste. Thank you. And yes, go ahead, come on up. We've got Teresa with a special message today.
Thank you so much, Karen. All right. Hey, good morning, everybody. So I have something very important to talk with all of you about, and that is our door, right? The first time I walked up here to CSL Cape Coral, I came from the back parking because I don't park in disabled parking. I park back there, and I'm like, oh, I walk on the shell path. I'm like, this is really cool because I came from Arlington, Virginia, and I'd never walked on a shell path before. And then I get to the door, and it says, what does it say? Door broken. Door broken. That was kind of sad. And so I'm like, okay, well, where do I go? And so I follow the path around a little bit, and I come to the front, and here's the front door, and I was able to get into the church. But it was a little bit confusing, and it didn't feel all that welcoming to see that door broken sign, right? And wouldn't it have been nice to just walk on that shell path and walk right in, right? And that's how we want our folks to feel, right? When we have people that are new to the center or people coming from the back, to feel welcome, that this is an open and welcoming place, all right? And so we have been raising money for the broken door for a long time. And I asked Melissa, I'm like, what's up with the door? Like, what's going on with that, you know? And she said, and I said, how much is this door? Well, the door is very expensive, okay? Somewhere around $7,000. I'm like, oh my God. First, I'm like, $7,000 for a door. How can that be? And so I said, did you get some quotes? And she said, yeah, about 20. Okay, all right. So how much do we need, Melissa? She's like, we need about $4,000 more to finish that up, all right? So that's what I'm here to do today. I would love to be able to walk out of church today with the $4,000 that we need to replace that door. And I know I'm kind of springing this on everybody because this is a pop-up fundraiser, but we've got a couple options. One, we would like to ask for you to give generously today, before you leave today. And Kay is going to come by. We have envelopes and we have pledge cards, okay? So please, everybody's going to get one here today. If you are not in the position to give today, please write your pledge, and you can write a date when you see that happening. So if we can at least get pledges for the completion of this store, that would be great. If you have your checkbooks, great, go ahead and give today. And you can also give in all the electronic means that we just went through, right? And if you're going to give through our website or through PayPal, go ahead and say that it's for the door. This is our special offering, and that's how we're going to know that it's for our door, okay? So Kay's going to come around. We'll give you all a minute, and then she's going to come back. Actually, Randy, would you mind grabbing the bucket in the back? We're going to, after everybody's got their cards and envelopes, so if you want to give today, you can put it in the envelope, and that's helps us to know that it's for our door. And then Randy's going to come through, and we'll take our special offering. So I love that word offering, because we're offering our abundance and that eternal flow, right? The reason that I'm here is because of that flow. I'm going to guess that that's the reason that we're all here, because of what we give and what we get through this beautiful spiritual community. And I don't know about you, but I want more people here with us, right? I want to see this place grow and prosper. Why? Well, yeah, it would be nice to be able to do some more things financially, but every person that walks through this door is a transformed life. You sit in these chairs long enough, and you cannot help but be transformed, right? And it may start in little ways, it may start in big ways, but once you're here, it starts and it takes hold, right? And as was said this morning, it's like stepping in, it's like that fish stepping into the flow. You can't help but be carried forward by what happens in this place. It's a magical place. Okay. Has everybody gotten their pledge card? Can you raise your hand if you have your pledge card? Okay, I think we've gone all around. If you need a pen, Kay's got pens too. Okay. All righty. So we've got a couple of options here, or three actually. We can give electronically. We can put our offering in the bucket, and we can also complete a pledge card for our commitment to this giving. And Randy's going to come around here, and he's taking pledge cards and offerings. So thank you. All right. And I'll just stay up here till we've gone through we've made our way around. And I'm going to hold a vision for this beautiful, beautiful door. And I can't wait until the day that broken door sign comes down. And I think we'll just hold a little celebration when it does. And I think it's going to come down very soon. In fact, I know it is. We're going to have an open house. We're going to have our open doors. Right? Okay. And we're going to welcome new people to our center, and they're going to find it easy to come in and find us. And they're going to feel right at home, just like we have. All right. We got through. We're almost through. Thank you. Thank you. And did we get the other side too, Randy? We got everybody. Wonderful. All right. I just want to say thank you for your generosity. Thank you for jumping into the flow and for creating that welcoming to all of our current and new folks. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Teresa. That door has been the bane of my existence. And I'm really glad to see some movement in this, and I think it was a great idea, so I appreciate you. Now, I am here to be your human invitation, and we have lots of fun stuff coming up here at the Center for Spiritual Living Cape Coral. And you can register for any of these upcoming events by visiting our website, cslcapecoral.org, or you can speak with me and I can get you set up. So this coming Saturday, we are having our craft fair and rummage sale. Do you have some clutter you need to release, or are you an artist or crafter with some goods you'd like to sell? Then come on over and join us. Saturday, December 11th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. We have 10 by 10 spaces available for just $10, and if you need to rent a table, it's just an additional $10, and you can register for that on our website. And we are going to have our Christmas Eve candlelight service, as we have in the past. And so we invite you to join our practitioners in the Big Love Band as we honor all religions during our Christmas Eve candlelight service from 4 to 6 p.m. Light refreshments will be provided, and bring your singing voices, because you know we're going to have some caroling going on. And we have Melissa Arterberry, who has a master's in social work, is offering a class on Zoom beginning in January on the 10th, and it is Mondays from 6:30 to 8 p.m., and it runs for 12 weeks, I believe it is. It's called Divine Alignment, the Practical Application of Spiritual Teachings. And the group will meet via Zoom, and we'll have a minimum of 6 people. The group's for anyone just learning about metaphysical teachings, all the way up to the seasoned seeker. They'll cover one topic each Monday evening, such as Science of Mind Basic Philosophy. They'll have group discussions on the topic and discuss how to implement those concepts into your daily life. There will be soul work to do outside of class to deepen the experience. And other in and out of class suggestions will be meditation, journaling, using affirmations, etc. Each participant will choose a specific area to focus on, feeling more peace, happiness, clarity, etc. And to conclude, the class is about manifesting our birthright to feel joy, love, abundance, etc. And so if you want to register for that class, actually, you're going to email Melissa Arterberry directly at marterberry1970@gmail.com. And now we have another certificated class with Reverend Gregory coming up. That is going to be on Wednesdays from 6 to 8 p.m. via Zoom, and it is called Revealing Wholeness. And I know I'm actually looking forward to this one. And this is going to be on January 12th, skipping the 19th, and resuming on the 26th, then February through March 2nd. And your $225 investment includes your workbook, a certificate from CSL Home Office, and it counts towards your practitioner training prerequisites, or if you are already a practitioner, this is a good CEU class. So in this 7-week session, you will apply the principle of oneness to wholeness, health, and well-being. You'll differentiate between conscious mind and subconscious mind and the role they play in creative law to demonstrate well-being. Identify personal beliefs about the body and how these beliefs relate to health, wholeness, and well-being. You'll compare the science of mind teaching with the creative process, or of the creative process, with the observer effect in quantum physics. You'll demonstrate optimum health and well-being through spiritual practice. And you'll identify the role of the placebo effect and nocebo effect in creating optimum health and well-being, while also exploring the ideas of self-love and nurturing care in relationship to well-being. And as we always say, do not let the cost of the class prevent you from signing up. If you need financial assistance or you want to make payment arrangements, just email me or come speak with me in private and we'll work something out. And our food drive is continuing, so you can drop off those non-perishable food donations on Tuesdays and Thursdays when I'm in the office from 10 to 2, on Wednesdays from noon to 1:30, or Sunday mornings. And as you know, during the holidays, that is a really important time for these food banks because they are dispersing a lot of food to a lot of families that are in need. So if you go to Publix, just pick up their BOGO stuff and bring the extra one in here. And Randy and Kay are still taking those over to the Cape Coral Caring Center. And as of October 27th, we donated 610.8 pounds of food and $2,054.77 in cash and checks to the Cape Coral Caring Center. So give yourselves a round of applause, because this is you guys. This is your doing, and we thank you for that. So, and don't leave today without your 1-minute miracle. Practitioners will be in front of the stage, and they'll be available for prayer, ready, willing, and eager to pray with and for you. So if you have something heavy on your heart, or if there's something great going on in your life that you just want to see more of, make sure you step up to one of our practitioners and allow us to pray with you, because we love to pray. And now it is time for Standing in the Light. So I invite you all to stand with me. And if you're joining us from home, I invite you to also stand. And so when we stand in the light, we stand knowing the truth of a situation. We focus on the solution and not the problem. We claim the outcome we wish to see. And so today, I am standing in the light for the Center for Spiritual Living Cape Coral, just knowing that that abundance is flowing in through and as each and every person in this room and all of our members who are joining us online and beyond. I know that we are a hub of growth in the Cape Coral community, and our beacon of light is shining really, really bright, attracting that perfect new minister. Standing in the light for Kim.
I stand in the light with this wonderful community for supporting my Uncle Jay and Jay, who transitioned Friday afternoon. I wish you love, peace, and light, my friend.
Standing in the light for Nicholas. Standing in the light for Erica. Standing in the light for Spirit. Standing in the light for Claire. Standing in the light for Danielle. Standing in the light for John. Standing in the light for Barbie. Standing in the light for Shell and Mary. Standing in the light for Ben. And I'm standing in the light for all of the unspoken prayers. And if you're joining us virtually, we invite you to add your prayer to the comment section, and our practitioners will pray with and for you throughout the week. And so at this time, I invite you to speak your own name into this sacred space. Melissa. And so I just know that as each and every one of us comes together, that we are a part of that whole. I know that that spirit flows in through and as each and every one of us, unique, individualized expressions of the one. And I just know as we go forth this week that all of these blessings rain down upon us, pressed down, multiplied, and overflowing out into our life and into the community and the world around us. I know that we are a blessing and we are blessed because that is our divine inheritance. And so I am just so very grateful for this knowledge, grateful for this truth, grateful for each and every one of you who said yes and showed up here today. And it is in that attitude of gratitude that I release my words to the law of mind, knowing that this or something better is truly unfolding right here and right now. And together we claim this by saying, and so it is.
Thank you, everyone. Happy Sunday.